The red fox represents one of the most striking examples of biological success in the mammal hierarchy. As the most widespread terrestrial predator on the planet, this species doesn't just survive. It dominates in the most diverse ecosystems, from Arctic tundra to modern megacities and the deserts of North Africa. Its ability to adapt borders on evolutionary genius, allowing the species to occupy niches that are inaccessible to more specialized predators. In today's world, where human pressure changes landscapes faster than natural evolution can keep up, the red fox demonstrates unique flexibility, becoming the focus of close attention from ecologists, geneticists, and urban planners. This study looks at the fox not just as a separate biological species, but as a complex ecological mechanism. We will analyze its anatomical perfection that allows it to use the Earth's magnetic field as a targeting system while hunting, its social structure where young individuals can act as babysitters, and its evolutionary path that began in the Middle East long before modern civilization appeared. The red fox's appearance is the product of millions of years of evolution, where natural selection was aimed at the perfect balance between speed, endurance, and camouflageability. The red fox is the largest member of the Vulpes genus, yet its build remains light and aerodynamic. This species shows clear sexual dimorphism. Males are usually 15 to 20% heavier than females. The average body length without the tail ranges from 45 to 90 centimeters. The tail is a true balancing organ that can make up to 70% of the body length, reaching over half a meter. Average body weight is between 5 and 7 kilograms, although some individuals can weigh up to 14 kilograms. Interestingly, many domestic cats can be heavier than foxes. The classic look of the fox is defined not only by its reddish color but also by clear contrasting markings. Key external features include black stockings on the legs and black coloring on the outer part of the ears. These markings help with visual camouflage. A characteristic and almost universal feature is the white tip of the tail, often called the flag or brush. It can be used as a signaling beacon during communication. In addition, unlike most dogs, the fox's muzzle is extremely narrow and delicate. The fox's appearance changes radically with the seasons. In winter, the fur becomes much thicker, longer, and brighter, providing thermoregulation, while in summer it thins out and becomes duller. The fox's eyes are a high-tech tool perfectly adapted to a crepuscular lifestyle. They have an amber or yellowish color and are equipped with vertical pupils. This shape allows the pupils to close much more tightly than in canines or humans, which is why the fox can hunt effectively in blinding light as well as in complete darkness. A key adaptation is the tapetum lucidum or reflective layer of the retina. This is a layer of crystals behind the retina that acts as a biological mirror. It reflects light back through the photoreceptors, effectively doubling the intensity of the visual signal. This is exactly what makes the fox's eyes glow at night. The anatomy of the fox's limbs emphasizes its evolution toward active pursuit and jumping. The hind legs are longer than the front ones, providing the powerful push needed for its unique hunting style. Unlike domestic dogs, foxes are digitigrade. They walk on the tips of their toes, making their gait completely silent. A special and little-known fact is the presence of tactile vibrissae not only on the muzzle but also on the back of the front paws. These paw whiskers function as additional sensors, allowing the animal to navigate in thick grass or narrow burrows where visual information is unavailable. Finally, the dental formula of the red fox is proof of its omnivorous nature. It has a total of 42 teeth, and its tooth row makes up more than half the length of the skull. The premolars have sharp cusps perfectly suited for cutting flesh, while the molars are adapted for crushing small bones and grinding plant food. This allows the fox to efficiently use a wide variety of resources, from rodents to berries. Thanks to its extremely wide range covering almost the entire northern hemisphere, the red fox has the largest number of subspecies among all carnivorous mammals. Today there are more than 45 of them. Morphological differences between subspecies are a direct result of adaptation to local climate. For example, foxes living in northern latitudes have thicker fur and larger body sizes, while southern subspecies such as desert foxes are smaller, have lighter coloring and relatively larger ears. This enormous morphological plasticity is the key to its global success. The red fox covers over 70 million square kilometers, making it the most widespread wild mammal on land. It demonstrates unparalleled adaptability, successfully settling almost the entire northern hemisphere. Its natural range stretches across Europe, Asia, and North America. It has also been artificially introduced to Australia, where it has become a significant invasive species. Thus, it has successfully colonized every type of landscape, from Arctic tundra to scorching deserts. Although an exact global count is impossible, estimates in major regions give a clear picture of its exceptional success. In Europe, for example, the total population can reach 20 million individuals, showing particularly high density in Central and Western Europe. In Great Britain, there are approximately 240,000 adult foxes, with about 150,000 of them adapted to city life. The population in North America is also stable and widespread, estimated in the millions. And finally, in Australia, where the fox was introduced, it is thriving with over 7 million individuals, where it acts as a major predator causing significant damage to local fauna. Foxes prefer mosaic landscapes, areas where open spaces like fields and meadows alternate with cover such as forests or bushes. These conditions provide the maximum concentration of rodents, their main food source. The fox shows high flexibility in choosing its environment. In forest edges, it finds the ideal combination of food from fields and safety from the forest, making these places primary for digging burrows and raising offspring. In steppe zones, it uses open spaces with high visibility for hunting ground squirrels and often occupies abandoned badger burrows. Urbanized areas such as city parks, cemeteries, or abandoned factories attract the fox with the high-calorie content of garbage and domestic animals. Even in mountainous regions, rocky outcrops or alpine meadows allow the fox to show flexibility in vertical movement, climbing up to 4,500 meters. The size of a fox's home range can vary from 40 hectares in food-rich cities to 5,000 hectares in harsh desert conditions. Foxes don't limit themselves to one burrow. They maintain an entire network of burrows within their territory. Usually there is one main burrow for breeding and up to a dozen auxiliary or shelter burrows used as safe refuges for resting, escaping predators, or hiding young during pursuit. Often foxes don't dig themselves but modify and use abandoned badger burrows or those of other animals, a clear example of effective adaptation. Foxes use a complex system of chemical territory marking that serves not only to establish boundaries but also for communication between individuals. Marking is done with urine and feces placed on visible objects, rocks, posts, or stumps. Interestingly, the frequency of marking directly depends on the quality of the territory. In resource-rich areas, a fox can leave up to 70 marks per hour. The marking contains not only the general fox scent but also specific pheromones that convey information about sex, reproductive status, and individual identification. Feces are often placed in high places to be as visible as possible, while urine is more often used to mark paths and boundaries. In addition, foxes have axillary glands and violet or supracaudal glands that secrete a characteristic musky smell, enhancing territorial signals. For a long time, the red fox's behavior was considered purely instinctive. However, studies from 2010 to 2020 revealed a level of intelligence and sensory perception that borders on the fantastic. Foxes demonstrate high social flexibility. Their behavior changes depending on ecological conditions. They do not form packs like wolves, but their relationships often go beyond complete solitude. In regions with sufficient resources and high territorial stability, foxes form family clans. This structure usually consists of a dominant monogamous pair and one or two subordinate individuals, most often females. These subordinate animals, which can be young from the previous year, play a critical role. They act as so-called helpers who help protect the territory, bring food to the pups, and care for the burrow. Thus, the fox's social structure is an effective and cooperative mechanism for the survival of the young. The red fox is famous for its exceptional cunning, which is direct proof of its high cognitive abilities that surpass those of many other canines. Experiments and observations prove that foxes can quickly solve complex tasks to gain access to food. They demonstrate an understanding of cause and effect relationships rather than just blind repetition of actions. Urban foxes in particular show the ability to learn quickly by observing humans. This is seen in their skill at effectively avoiding traps, dodging traffic, or figuring out complex mechanisms of trash bins and containers. This allows them to adapt to the changing human environment faster than most other predators. Foxes are among the most vocal carnivorous animals. Their repertoire includes 20 to 28 types of sounds spanning 5 octaves. An adult uses 12 different signals while fox kids use 8. For example, the wow-wow-wow is the most common contact bark, by which foxes can recognize the individual voices of their partners from over 500 meters away. Geckering is a specific chattering sound used during aggressive contacts or fights for dominance. The vixen scream is a terrifying sound that resembles a human cry in agony and is most often heard during the mating season to attract males. There are also puffing and coughing sounds, signals for close-range greeting or warning the young. The most resonant discovery in modern fox ethology has been the detection of their ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. This phenomenon is known as magnetoreception. Research by the Czech ethologist Jaroslav Červený and his team proved that when hunting prey that is invisible under snow or in tall grass, foxes use the magnetic field as a guidance system. This phenomenon is highly precise and shows that the fox knows how to use the Earth's field like a sniper scope. The most successful attacks occur when the fox jumps in only 2 specific directions. The main, most effective direction is slightly northeast of the magnetic North Pole. In this optimal window, the fox achieves success in 73 to 74% of cases. There is also a secondary direction slightly southwest, where success is also high, around 60%. However, if the fox jumps in any other direction, the success rate of its attack drops sharply, not exceeding 18%. This proves that the fox uses the magnetic field not randomly, but as a key element for accurately calculating the distance to its prey. This phenomenon is explained by the fact that the fox probably sees the magnetic field as a shadow or light spot in its field of vision thanks to special proteins in the eyes called cryptochromes. By combining the angle of the sound falling from the mouse with the inclination of the magnetic lines, the animal perfectly calculates the jump distance, making it one of the most sophisticated predators in the world. The red fox is the embodiment of opportunism. Its diet changes depending on the season, region, and availability of human resources, which ensures its incredible survivability in any landscape. An adult fox needs about half a kilogram of food per day. However, in one successful night of hunting it can kill much more than it can eat. This has led to the development of a caching strategy. The fox buries excess food in shallow holes, covering them with soil or snow. An interesting aspect of this behavior is marking. The fox doesn't just hide the food but also marks the cache location with urine. This chemical marker serves as the fox's individual claim, signaling to others that the cache has an owner and is potentially protected. This effectively reduces the risk of robbery by other foxes or competitors. When the fox retrieves the food, the marker gradually disappears, which likely informs other animals that the cache is no longer controlled. But the primary purpose of marking is to protect the cache. The fox's diet is exceptionally flexible. Rodents, voles, mice, or rats make up 60 to 75% of its nutrition. However, the fox demonstrates its opportunistic evolutionary advantage because it can completely switch to other food sources when rodents are unavailable. A significant part of the diet consists of lagomorphs and invertebrates. About 10 to 15% of nutrition comes from vegetation, berries, fruits, and seeds, which is especially important for survival in critical months when the main prey is unavailable. The fox's hunting behavior depends on the size of the target and the environment. Its most famous and spectacular technique is called mousing. This is a ritual for hunting small rodents that requires perfect silence and incredible sensory concentration. The fox freezes, tilting its head to catch the high-frequency squeak of a rodent from up to 30 meters away, even under a layer of snow or soil. After locating the target using hearing and the magnetoreception we discussed earlier, it follows with a quick, powerful vertical jump, landing directly on the prey. Unlike mousing, hunting larger prey such as hares, rabbits, or big birds requires an ambush and a short, intense chase. During the breeding season, the male specializes in obtaining exactly this kind of large, energy-rich prey to provide for the female and the young. In cities, the fox becomes a true master at using human resources. It hunts pigeons and ducks in parks, but still gets the majority of its calories from trash containers and food leftovers in public places. This adaptation allows urban foxes to have higher population density and better physical condition than their rural relatives, making the city essentially a highly productive but dangerous food base. Red foxes demonstrate an exceptionally well-organized level of parental care, which is a critical factor in their success. The mating season, or rut, occurs in winter and lasts from December to March. This is a time of active vocalization and territorial clashes. Foxes, which usually lead a solitary lifestyle, come together in pairs. Although the species is traditionally considered monogamous, modern DNA studies have revealed flexibility in their social organization. Parental care in foxes is intensive and cooperative. During the lactation period, which lasts approximately 56 to 70 days, the male plays a key role in the family's survival. His main task is the constant supply of food to the female and later to the young. He brings prey to the entrance of the burrow but never enters inside during the first weeks. This behavior is critically important because it minimizes the risk of bringing external scent, infections, or parasites into the nest. Fox kits are born blind, deaf, and covered in dark down. Their eyes open around the 10th to 14th day. Rapid growth requires constant feeding. At the age of 3 to 4 weeks, the young begin to consume semi-digested food that the parents regurgitate. At this time, they first come out of the burrow for short periods, staying near the entrance to play. Around the 6th week, the kits begin to develop their adult reddish fur, and their main diet fully switches to solid food brought by the adults. Play behavior in fox kits is a critically important stage of learning, not just entertainment. All games that last from 4 to 12 weeks are aimed at practicing key survival skills and establishing social order. Kits often fight with each other, grabbing one another by the scruff and imitating bites, which not only establishes hierarchy within the litter but also prepares them for territorial conflicts in adulthood. They also play with small objects, stones, twigs, imitating attacking jumps and mousing techniques. This physical training is extremely important for their coordination. Around 3 to 4 months old, the kits already accompany their parents on outings, learning hunting techniques directly in the field. Parents often bring injured or live small prey to stimulate the young's instincts, allowing them to make the final attack and gain experience. By 5 to 6 months, the young reach the size of an adult, and in autumn the kits finally disperse to find their own territories. Sexual maturity comes early, around 10 months, allowing the young to participate in the rut the following winter. Despite the high level of parental care, life in the wild is a harsh test. About 50% of kits do not survive until their first winter. The average lifespan of a fox in the wild is only 3 to 4 years, although its physiological potential allows it to live up to 15 years. The red fox has traveled a long and complex path from small tree-climbing mammals to a dominant predator. Its evolutionary success was ensured by unparalleled genetic flexibility. The history of the Vulpes genus began approximately 7 to 10 million years ago in North America, where it separated from the common trunk of the Canidae family. From there, foxes colonized Eurasia, probably through Beringia, the land bridge that existed between the Eurasian and North American continents. The fossil ancestor Vulpes alopecoides, found in southern Europe and living about 2.6 million years ago, is considered the direct ancestor of the modern red fox. According to the latest genome sequencing data from 2022 to 2024, the history of the modern fox Vulpes began in the Middle East. This region is the key zone of its genetic origin. The geographical expansion of the red fox is indeed linked to global climate changes, particularly periods of glaciation. During the Illinois glaciation, foxes carried out a second critically important wave of colonization of America. It was during this migration surge that unique mountain and plains genetic clades formed in America. Interestingly, geneticists have discovered that foxes in North America and Eurasia were isolated for 400,000 years. Such a long isolation seriously questions their belonging to one species and may lead to a future revision of classification, splitting Vulpes into two or more separate species. This underscores the deep genetic divergence that arose as a result of millions of years of adaptation to different ecosystems. The scientific discovery and classification of the fox as a species is only part of its story. For thousands of years, it has also been an object of hunting and a struggle for dominance in the ecosystem. The official scientific history of the red fox begins with the foundational work of Carl Linnaeus, Systema Naturae. In 1758, in the 10th edition of this work, Linnaeus first gave the species the binomial name Canis vulpes, including the fox in the same genus Canis along with wolves, dogs, and jackals. This grouping was logical for that time because Linnaeus gave priority to external morphological features such as body structure, paws, and skull. However, this approach did not take into account significant behavioral and physiological differences. The real discussion began immediately after Linnaeus, when naturalists started to notice that foxes formed a separate group. The French naturalist François de Garsault in 1764 was the first to propose separating foxes into their own independent genus Vulpes. He based this decision on their unique social behavior, different pupil shape, and skull structure that differed from wolves. For decades there was debate about the exact name. For example, the German zoologist H. Frisch in 1775 proposed the name Vulpes vulgaris. Although this was an early attempt to distinguish the fox in a separate genus, this name ultimately did not stick because at that time repeating the generic and specific name was not generally accepted in zoological nomenclature. The dispute, which lasted almost 2 centuries, was resolved only in the mid-20th century. The International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature reviewed the rules and finally confirmed Vulpes as the official name of the species. This decision highlighted the fox's dual status. It was the first fox described by Linnaeus, but later recognized as so different that it required its own genus. Thus, the name Vulpes reflects both its priority discovery and its modern phylogenetic separation from the genus Canis. Throughout the centuries, the fox has been one of the most important fur resources in the Northern Hemisphere. Its high-quality, dense fur stimulated the development of commercial hunting in Europe and Asia. In the era of great geographical discoveries, the fox became a driving force for expansion into the territories of North America and Siberia. European fur companies, for example the Hudson's Bay Company, built their economy on trading fox fur with indigenous peoples. Due to instability of wild stocks, from the end of the 19th century active breeding of foxes on specialized farms began, which allowed the creation of new color morphs that were in demand in fashion. The fox also has a long history as an object of sport hunting and as an animal hunted to control its numbers. Classic mounted fox hunting with a pack of dogs became a cultural tradition, especially in Great Britain, starting from the 16th century. The fox has always been viewed as an agricultural pest because it hunted domestic poultry, causing constant hostility from farmers. In addition, the fox has historically been and remains the main carrier of rabies among wild animals, making it the target of mass shooting during epidemics. Foxes have many natural enemies that keep their numbers within natural limits. In ecology, this is called competitive exclusion or the effect of predation. Key predators and competitors of the fox perform the role of population regulators. The wolf is the top-level predator and the main natural enemy of the fox. Wolves view foxes not only as potential prey but as direct competitors for small rodents and lagomorphs. As a result, foxes actively avoid the core territories of wolf packs. In North America, the most significant direct competitor is the coyote. Coyotes systematically displace foxes from open prairies into less favorable habitats. They often kill foxes but usually rarely eat them. This behavior is known as killing for competition and serves as a means of territorial dominance. Aerial predators such as golden eagles and large owls pose a particular danger. They hunt young and weakened adult foxes, especially in mountainous and open landscapes. In addition, the badger is a key competitor for housing. Since badgers and foxes often use the same underground burrows, fierce clashes can arise between them, especially during the breeding season. Usually the stronger badger dominates and can drive the fox out of the burrow. The red fox is a master of indirect defense and escape, relying on cunning and endurance rather than direct confrontation. These techniques are used by the fox when speed and maneuvering no longer fully help it break away from an experienced or faster predator. To throw off the trail, it can walk several meters backward and then suddenly jump sideways to create a false endpoint to its track. It also makes long jumps to the side from the main direction of movement or runs in a clear zigzag, which prevents the predator from predicting its trajectory. A critical technique is the use of water. The fox often crosses shallow streams, rivers, or runs through marshy places to neutralize its scent and disrupt the olfactory trail. For camouflage, it can describe a large loop or circle and return almost to the point where it started its escape, then quickly hide while watching the pursuer run past. During hunting, foxes sometimes deliberately use paths, roads, or even tracks of domestic livestock so that the scent of their paws mixes with other smells, complicating identification. And in a state of extreme stress, especially if cornered by an inexperienced predator, it can resort to playing dead to deceive the enemy. But this happens extremely rarely. All these strategies allow the fox to compensate for its relatively small size, turning its escape into a real intellectual game. Today, the global status of the red fox is assessed as stable. However, in some regions the species becomes a victim of its own success, requiring modern management strategies. Thanks to its exceptional adaptability and wide range, the red fox has the status of least concern according to the IUCN Red List. This indicates the stability of the global population. However, at the local level, foxes face constant challenges caused by human activity. The most significant non-industrial threat is road mortality. In conditions of habitat fragmentation, roads become a constant barrier and cause of death for a large number of young individuals during dispersal. The problem of excessive fox density in cities and the spread of rabies is not unique to any one place. In Western Europe and North America, comprehensive control programs have been applied for decades. The most effective tool remains oral vaccination of wild carnivores, which requires systematic wide distribution of baits. The red fox serves as a mirror of our ecosystem. Its incredible success in the 21st century is evidence of the exceptional plasticity of life. This predator has learned to use the Earth's magnetic field as a hunting tool, adapted to the noise of megacities, and managed to survive even in the conditions of the most modern conflicts. The red fox is a complex biosensor that instantly reacts to changes in climate, landscape, and society. Studying its biology and evolution gives humanity the keys to understanding how wild nature can coexist with civilization in a constantly changing world. So it remains a reddish phantom that is always one step ahead, watching us from the edge of the forest or under the light of city lamps. We have shown that this predator is capable of bypassing our traps and reading our habits. But now, after you know everything about it, let's talk about you. So here's a question for my viewers. Do you really dominate in your urban or forest environment? When was the last time you saw a fox? Did you realize that it's not just a cute animal but a complex biosensor that may have already found weak spots in your area? And most importantly, Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Tell me, have you ever had a close encounter with a fox? And what do you think about these incredibly adaptable animals living right alongside us? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dives into wildlife, science, and nature, please support the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Sharing the video with your friends really helps the channel grow. A huge thank you to everyone who supports us, especially our sponsors and members. You make these detailed videos possible. That's it for today. Stay curious, stay wild, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.